laugh and my heart chokes. Like Midas, everything you touch turns gold. You dance in the hallway like nobody's told. You say my name so softly, like a silent little word. Yeah, every time you're near me, all my doubts get blurred. You take my day, turn it bright, brand new. Every look you give says I choose you. I get you more than anybody ever could. You get me in a way I never understood. And every little smile, every little move you do, baby, I don't need a reason. I just know, I get you. Yeah, it's all about your dreams, eyes wide, shining clear. And you tell the wildest stories I could listen for years. And you roll your eyes and kiss me when I'm stubborn and proud. You pull me back to center when my thoughts get loud. You take my fear, turn it into truth. Yeah. Every time you touch me, I remember you. I get more than anybody ever could. You get me, in a way I never understood. Every little smile, every little move you do, baby, I don't need a reason. I just know, I just know I get when the world feels heavy on my shoulders, you lean in, lay your head right over mine. You say we can carry this together, and just like that, I'm fine. Oh, I'm fine. What up, YouTube? It's your girl Dee Dee. Welcome back to another live stream. Happy Tuesday. I hope you guys are doing well. Thank y'all so much for tuning in once again. Listen, as you come into the building, make sure you go ahead and put a one. Put a one in the chat if y'all can hear me good. One in the chat if the audio is good. One in the chat if the audio is good. One in the chat if y'all can hear me good. Also, as you come into the building, make sure you thumbs up the stream. Make sure you guys are thumbs upping the stream. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button as you come into the building, y'all. We gonna get right into this live stream, y'all. I don't want to keep y'all too long. I'm already starting late. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to everybody in the building, everybody watching. Shout out to everybody who supports the channel. I appreciate y'all so much. Y'all already know that though. But shout out to everybody watching. Listen, as you come in, hit the like button. What's going on, Samuel Blackman in the building? What's going on, Samuel? Ryan from the 8. What's going on, Ryan? 225. What's going on, Al? Al, for I don't know if is it Al? Al, what's going on, Al? I'm gonna call you Al. Joe Mama in the building. What's going on? How you been? I'm good. How you been? Snitches get stitches. Love the name. Oh my God. What's going on? How are you? Thank y'all for being here. Is it Clarice? I don't know if I'm saying that right. Clarice Ave. I hope I'm saying that right. Shout out to you, Lorenzo Redmond in the building. What's going on, Lorenzo? Keel Hall. I don't know if I'm saying your name right. I apologize if I messed it up, but thank you so much for being here. Shout out to everybody watching. everybody in the building, everybody who supports the channel once again, y'all. All right, so the audio is good. Listen, I want to go through these topics really quickly. I'm not gonna like drag it out. I just want to kind of give some updates on some of this stuff, go over what people are saying in the public about these topics, and we're gonna move on, okay? But I had to address it. I needed to address it. What's going on, David M? What's going on? In a month, going to Japan, celebrate my new life. Oh, shout out to you, Joe Mama. Let me know how it is in Japan. Very nice, very nice. And I hope you enjoy your trip. Shout out to you. Al, what's going on, Al? Thank you. So listen, y'all. I just want to go over it. Y'all know how I am. I like to give my 2 cents on things. I'm not gonna drag it out, because leave that for somebody else. I'm not gonna drag out these situations, but I will say, there's a lot going on with the men in media right now. It's a lot going on with men in media right now. There's a lot of situation involving a lot of different situations with men. There's a lot going on. People are talking about mental health. That is coming out, but unfortunately, in the midst of all this tragedy, a lot of people are dismissing the mental health issues, and I think that that's an issue. And I'm gonna briefly speak on it. I don't want to get too deep in it, but because it's crazy, you know how people are. But we can't ignore that is an aspect to it, even in the midst of this craziness that I'm seeing happening, y'all. And none of this is new, but it's unfortunate. What's going on, James Horton in the building? Hi, how are you? Blue X, what's going on? How you been? Hope all is well. So listen, y'all see the title, the Ashlee Jenae situation, y'all. Listen, the Ashlee situation is there's not too many updates on it. The only thing that somebody did mention to me, I think a couple of days ago actually, was the fact that her fiance is being questioned and he's being held. That's him on the picture in Zanzibar, despite the deletion ruling. So far they're still investigating it. They're saying that, she deleted herself, which a lot of people don't believe that. A lot of people think that it was the fiance who allegedly did something, or he knew about, or something, he did something to her, or somebody did something to her. They're saying that the police in Zanzibar have withheld Joe McCann's passport and are continuing to question him following the deletion of Ashlee Jenae. Even as authorities insist he has not been arrested and is being treated only as a witness. So he's being treated as a witness, according to a statement released on this was from Tuesday, April the 14th. And I'm just looking over here reading the article on my screen. So that's her fiance, Joe McCann. They're still investigating and examining the circumstances surrounding the deletion of her. Her legal name is Ashlee Robinson. So once again, there's been a lot of talk on this whole situation, a lot of back and forth. People looking at as a race issue. There's a lot of racial divide as it relates to this case because she's a black woman and that's a white man who was last seen with her. And the last reports we heard were that there was a big argument and they had to be to the point they had to be separated. And she was in a different room. He was in a different room. And then hours later, she ended up deleted. And so they're looking to see what happened. And, her family don't believe, and this is just a recap. Her family doesn't believe that she was, she would take herself out. She was a happy woman. She just got engaged to this guy, 31 years old. There's a lot going on. The family is trying to either get to Zanzibar to see what's going on. I think they had to raise a GoFundMe to get the money to do it. It's a lot going on with that case. A lot of speculation, a lot of a lot of talk surrounding it. And there are a lot of people who, are mad about it. Women who are somehow blaming black men, which is beyond me, y'all. I don't understand how black men always get into these situations. I don't understand by having an opinion. That part there just blows me. I don't understand why somehow it's black men are being blamed for something they had nothing to do with just because they may have an opinion. That's the only part that gets to me. I'm like, what, how, when, where, why? Like, why? But anyway, that's that. And then there are, black men and women going back and forward because women are saying, oh my God, how dare y'all blame her? And other people are pointing out, even I myself pointed out in videos posted about this, that black women have done the same thing when it came to Kevin Samuels. Y'all know how they treated that man's dad. They could care less. And that was, oh my God, I saw so much when it came to Kevin Samuels, and he didn't even do anybody nothing. He just had an opinion. And this is why I be like, damn, a lot of these women, and it's not all women, but a lot of these women are ruthless. You hear me? When they want to be, they spare no feelings or anything for somebody that they don't like, but they know how to spare feelings for others when they want to. And so that's the main thing. I just noticed with certain other situations, or when it's been cases where, white men were, where black men were deleted by a white person or a non-black person, they were like, oh, they had disparaging things to say. They had a lot of opinions on that, and it wasn't in favor of the black man. So, it's all of that going on. It's just messy, and it's unfortunate that this woman had to lose her life. I just wanted to say that again. I don't want to keep harping on it because I really don't like, this is part of the news, and I want to, bring it forth in this way, but it's unfortunate she lost her life. I guess we'll see what happens if they still consider this a deletion and what will happen after this. But I just want people to just be careful out in these streets. Be careful, men and women, be careful, because crazy people are out here. All right. And it shouldn't be an argument about race. It really should just be an opinion on what's happening, and wait to get the evidence to see what actually transpired. You know what I mean? And hopefully there can be some closure to her case. But rest in peace to her. And that's all I'm gonna say on that. But that situation right there was definitely unfortunate. And what's your thoughts on it? What's your thoughts on the whole Ashlee Jenae situation? Because there's a lot of speculation on it. And once again, people have all types of things to say about it. They were talking about how she was talking about, black men and all of these things. And I'm just, it's unfortunate she lost her life. And that's the thing that I hate to see happening in these situations, because it shouldn't have to end up that way. She was a young woman, beautiful young woman, and shouldn't have to lose her life. They're saying she said some disparaging things about black men, and I don't think anybody should be saying anything disparaging about people. I understand people have opinions, and may some opinions may seem harsher than others, but it's just an opinion. If you don't know these people personally, it shouldn't, you know what I mean? It shouldn't be taken that way. And I just think nobody's life should be ended, or nobody's life should be criticized, or deletion should be criticized in any way, shape, or form. That's somebody's child, that's somebody's family member. And so I that's the approach that I take with it. And I just don't like to see it on whether it's men or women or anybody, So that's just my take on it. But hopefully they get the closure. And whatever, hopefully they get down to the root of it to see what exactly happened. If the fiance did something, he need to be held accountable. Whatever the situation is, somebody did it. So they need to find the person who did it. Because I too don't believe it was a deletion. I just don't believe that. I don't believe that whatsoever. And so I just think they need to find the person who did it. And they need to be arrested right away. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my take on it, on that whole situation. Yeah. And just be careful in these streets. That's all I'm gonna say on that. Let's move on. I want to move on to the Justin Fairfax situation. So I don't know if you guys have heard, this is all over social media. Former VA Lieutenant Governor deleted his wife. And this was weeks before a court-ordered move out. So there was a court order for him to move out of the house. So this man lost a lot. He was losing his wife. I think he lost his job. He lost a lot of stuff, and there was a lot of stress and tension behind this. And so, I'm not saying this is why he did this, but I want to play a little bit of what happened in this situation, because once again, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. But I want to play this just in case you guys have not heard of this story. I just recently heard of this and I thought this was crazy. But let's get into this. This man deleted his wife. They had 2 children. They leave behind 2 children, and he deleted himself. So let me just play a clip of what actually happened.
New reaction and details tonight into the horrific murder-suicide involving Virginia's former Lieutenant Governor Justin Fairfax and his wife, Dr. Serena Fairfax. Police say around midnight Thursday, Justin Fairfax shot Serena several times in the family's Annandale home, killing her. Moments later, he shot and killed himself. That is where we begin this evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Eun Yang. The tragedy came amidst a contentious divorce. Child custody had just been granted to Serena, while Justin had been ordered to move out of the family's home by the end of this month. People who knew and loved Serena are remembering her today as bright and caring. They've left flowers outside of her dental practice today. Northern Virginia Bureau reporter Drew Wilder has new details tonight on this tragic act of violence.
New video tonight shows the moments after the tragedy inside the home of the former lieutenant governor. A neighbor shared video with News 4 that were blurring, showing the 2 children moments after leaving the house where police say Justin Fairfax shot and killed his wife, Dr. Serena Fairfax, before turning the gun himself. Serena was a dentist at an office on Lee Highway. Today, patients dropped flowers at the foot of a closed office door and dropped by to pay their respects.
I've never had a healthcare provider that would talk to me for like an hour about, everything, and she was just a really great healthcare provider.
Sounds like you connected with her more than most people would connect with a medical professional.
Yeah.
What does that say about who she was, do you think?
I mean, from my perspective, she was just a wonderful human being.
As the investigation continues, we're learning more about what was going on inside of the home for the last several years. Serena had filed for divorce last summer, saying Justin had slipped into alcoholism and self-isolation, detaching himself from the family following the 2019 allegations of sexual abuse against him, allegations which he was never charged for. New images from court tonight show piles of cigarette butts outside of the family's home. Serena telling the court there were times when Justin would only poke out of his isolation to smoke and grab more alcohol, while the 2 continued living in their Annandale home with their 2 teenage kids.
Now, I want to just pause it for a second. So we saw the cigarette butts, and then there were allegations of him saying that he was getting drunk, he was getting wasted before all of this. But wouldn't that be an indication that there's something going on with him mentally? And while a lot of people, and I've been watching a lot of comments on different posts and things of that nature, a lot of people, especially it's women mostly, some men, but women mostly, rule out the idea that these people were going through mental issues or stresses. Now think about it. If you're losing your wife, you're losing your family, essentially. You're losing your job. You're losing everything around you. It's just falling apart. Wouldn't you think that that would stress you out, some to higher levels than others, or just stress you out in general? That is a stressful situation, in general. Some people are pushed to the limits and some aren't. Some people are able to handle or regulate their emotions in a way that they can deal with certain things and move a certain way. But this is why I say you never know what's going on in somebody's head. You can never really judge like how somebody is thinking, and how crazy they could be thinking. Now, this is another unfortunate situation because these kids are left without parents. Both the mother and the father have been taken out of here at the hands of their father. So now they know that their father deleted their mother and himself, leaving them orphans. And that, oh my God, I just couldn't imagine something like that. But, and this is why I say, and I know people are probably like, of course there's no justification for somebody just taking somebody's life, right? We can say that. But at the same time, people, when we talk about men and mental illness and stress and what men go through, that's all almost looked at as a non-factor. That's almost looked at as a something that we shouldn't even care about. And I think that's a problem. I think that's a problem. I think despite these horrible crimes, and I'm not justifying it at all, this is crazy. But there needs to be some type of study or some type of aid or help or something to look into the man's like mental, like there's what is it, men's mental illness awareness and all of that. Nobody focuses on that. The focus is always on women's mental stability in some cases, because I think that needs to be analyzed more too. I think there needs to be more on and more talks about mental health when it comes to men, because I don't think people focus on that much. But people like to focus on the outcomes or the tragedies or the things that happen once somebody snapped or lost it, but they never focus on what led them to it. Now, there's no justification for his actions. And listen, I will say this. I don't think everybody is just snapping. I don't think everybody is snapping. I think some people are intentional with their motives and what they want to do. Honestly, I don't know who, though. I can't tell you who's intentional, who's not, but I certainly wouldn't put everybody in one little, one little box or one little category, like this is everybody, because you just don't know what people are going through, and we don't know what men go through. As women, we are not men, so we can't get in the head of a man and understand the stress and the things that men have to go through and their breaking points and all that. We can't, we don't know what that's like. We know what it's like to be us and what we go through. But a lot of times our actions are justifiable in some cases, or there's more empathy for us, but there's not any for men. And so I think sometimes I think in a lot of cases, men just have to deal with whatever. And once again, not justifying this, because this is horrible. But what I'm saying, even men who don't commit these crimes still have things that they have to deal with mentally, and there's no real place for them to like deal with that. And I think that's a problem. Let's continue.
It definitely sounds like it was a messy divorce. They probably shouldn't have been living together, but
No,
there's
they
so
shouldn't
many
have been.
reasons why people do.
Joey Kirschgessner is a family law attorney licensed to practice in Virginia. He did not work on the Fairfax family case, a case that was set to move forward next week, though there were ongoing disputes that complicated the case. In Virginia, parents seeking divorce must show the court 12 months of separation prior to being legally divorced. That separation date was in contention, which Kirschgessner says becomes common with disputes over money and assets.
If you have a 401k that's worth $100,000 on one day, but then on another day, 2 months later, there's a huge spike and now it's worth $200,000. Well, that makes a big difference of when your separation date is. What are you splitting, right?
Police say the two children were at home at the time of the shootings, and they're now with their
that's
grandparents
sad.
as detectives work to piece together the tragedy that left them without their mom and dad.
That's
Reporting in
crazy.
Fairfax County, Drew Wilder, News 4.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, child. Those kids are going to have to suffer, and live without parents. That's crazy. And you would think that, you would have enough sanity to say, you know what, my kids, and focus on that. If nothing else, focus on the kids, because they're the most important, And there was also a report too that the wife had made a statement allegedly. I don't have the article in front of me, but that someone had said, a friend of the family or something had said that there was a statement from the wife who's deceased, of course, who was happy to be divorced, saying she's finally free. And, and then, that was before all of this happened, like right before it happened or whatever. And that could have been a trigger as well. I don't know. I'm just, this is unfortunate. This is, but this is why people are skeptical about getting married now, because you just never know how this is going to turn out. You never know like what the situation is going to be. He had some alleged charges, brought up or allegations brought up on him, which he was never charged for or anything like that. But there were allegations that they had that. The wife leave. It's a lot that was going on. And I mean, him taking himself out too, to me, that says a lot, that you don't want to be here. Thank God they didn't do anything to the kids, because I've seen situations where they get rid of everybody and themselves. And it's just unfortunate, y'all. It really is. None of this, nobody wins in any of these situations. These are not a win-win situation whatsoever. Manny E, D4vd, thank you for the super chat, says, I see this happen a lot when divorces are involved, right? When divorces are going on, it might be best to live separately if possible. I would say so too, because you've got to think about it. typically when these divorces happen, the women are trying to they're leaving. So your family's being torn apart. And she's trying to get the most she can out of the man. So usually it's his money and his assets that are being split or being taken. He's being taken to the cleaners a lot of times. Look, he had to get out. He was losing his home, losing his family, losing his livelihood. So what do? Some people can't handle the pressures of that. Now, I don't know what led up to all of this. I don't know what their marriage was like. That's a whole nother story. Thank you, Manny. I appreciate you. I don't know what was going on, but it's unfortunate that it had to end this way, as opposed to just, chalking it up as a loss and moving on and rebuild your life and move on, because you can start over. You don't have to end it all, but he chose to end her and end himself, which is unfortunate, because now the kids are going to suffer. And they don't have parents, and you don't have any more life to live. It's unfortunate that he couldn't think of a better way or a better outcome. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes people aren't strong enough to be able to deal with that or whatever. And once again, when it comes to marriage, you don't know the ins and outs of people's marriage. You don't know what's going on. You don't know his side completely. You don't know the wife's side. You don't know how the wife was moving in this situation. And the one thing I will say is this: in any situation dealing with a woman and a man, all you hear is the majority of people take the side as the woman, as if the woman was the innocent victim in this situation. Now, in this situation, this woman is deceased, and that is unfortunate, and he's deceased as well. So, oh my God, this is unfortunate. But even when both are still here, and just in general, in situations, what I see across social media is the women being looked at as the victim in every situation, not in this tragic situation, but just in situations in general when it's not tragic. The woman is being looked at as, oh my God, this and that, and people don't even know the whole story. A lot of people judge it, but they judge it in the sense of, oh my God, he's the demon and she's the angel. They don't even be knowing the whole situation. And I just think that needs to stop. I think we need to stop doing it on both sides, but I see so much is instantly taking the side of the woman. And that's where I'm a little different, because I'm not going to just take your side just because you're a woman and I'm a woman. I understand. I have sons and I have daughters, and I certainly wouldn't want anybody to accuse my sons or my daughters of something that they didn't do without all of the context, all of the information. Instead of just prejudging them just because you have a bias towards women because you are a woman. I think that is very dangerous. And that's what I sort of see when I look all over social media. It's automatic. And I see it on both sides, to be honest. But I just think, I think we got to stop doing that and just wait to get the information. You know what I'm saying? And then give your opinions based on that. Because right now, everybody's just speculating. Nobody really knows the ins and outs of a relationship. We only see the outcome. We don't know what was going on in the house. We don't know what was happening, what was being said, how he was treated, how she was treated. We don't know. And we don't know. Because obviously, when you start out in a relationship with the person, it's good. There's a reason you chose to be with the person that you was with, because they had good qualities. But something takes a left turn and it goes bad. But, typically it's not always one person. Typically it's not all one person. It takes two. So, it's just unfortunate, again, that this situation had to end up like this, y'all. I just think that this is crazy. This was definitely a tragic situation. And it's unfortunate, and I feel for the children. Which now this brings me to this next story that I want to share. Again, this here is the guy, and I talked about the guy in Shreveport, Louisiana, who deleted 8 children. This story has an update. They're kind of giving you a little bit of information about who the guy is, which his name is Shamar Elkins. They're giving you a little backstory on him. And I want to let you hear what was said in this particular clip about him. And I'm gonna go ahead and pull it up. Just give me a second. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. But this was very interesting. But I want you to hear. Hold on. Oh my God, he talking loud. Here we go.
New details on gunman Shamar Elkins, who shot and killed 7 of his children and their cousin.
Say he may have shot them all.
The shooter's brother-in-law, Troy Brown, shocked, telling NBC News 31-year-old Elkins recently sought mental health treatment through Veterans Affairs.
He stayed there a week and a half. He came home. He was happy.
Elkins left the Louisiana Army National Guard in 2020 after they say he served for 7 years as a private.
He loved his kids. He loved his wife. I just don't know what happened. You never know what a person's going through.
The horrific act of violence happened inside this home early Sunday. The kids, all between 3 and 11 years old. Authorities say the gunman also shot his wife and a woman believed to be his girlfriend before he fled in a stolen car. Home security video capturing the moments officers caught up to him and exchanged gunfire. He was later pronounced dead.
What is it like to return to this scene today?
It's just unreal. I can't believe it. It is tragic what is going on, and this has affected everyone.
Another urgent question tonight. How did Elkins have access to a firearm? Authorities say he was a convicted felon. Family members noting he was also going through a divorce.
A man there shot and killed 8 kids, wounded 2 adults before taking his own life. 7 of those 8 kids belonged to the gunman identified as Shamar Elkins. Investigators say he killed the children as they slept on Sunday morning before leading police on a chase that ended with Elkins being by officers. The ages for the kids range from 1 year old to 14. According to a new report here, though, Elkins had a history of mental health issues. This is all new this morning. His parents described conversations they had with him a couple of weeks ago where he described recently struggling with his mental health and wanted to take his own life. He also told them that his wife wanted to file for divorce. His parents say they tried to get their son some help. In the past 24 hours, the Louisiana governor, Jeff Landry, also visited the family and says that they are going to keep a close eye on this situation in a couple of cases here. They are promising to help them moving forward.
The Loved One Louisiana Foundation will be paying all of the expenses for the funerals of each one of these children.
Now, the 2 adults who were shot in this incident are still in the hospital with serious injuries. They are expected to recover.
Oh, thank God. So at least they're going to survive. Okay, so they're going to survive. Lord Jesus. The children, oh my God. I just couldn't imagine. You know what I mean? That there, I just couldn't imagine. But this was a sad one too. And that's what I'm saying. They're saying he had mental health issues. People are not buying it. People are not buying that he had mental health issues. DZ stayed blessed. DZ stayed blessed. Like he said, you know, people said the man looked funny. You call him bicycle seat head. God forgive me. I ain't want to laugh. But it do look like that, though. I'm just saying. That man is dead, Lord. But, I mean, he took out them children, y'all. That's just unfortunate. I feel for the children. But, you know, a lot of people are saying they don't care about no mental health issues. That there's no way, you know. It's unfortunate, though. And, you know, but anyway, listen. There are a lot of people who said he looked like something was wrong with him, but he, you know, they were saying he was asking for help. He didn't get the help. Maybe he snapped. I don't know. They're saying he snapped. That was a relative said he loved his family, the children. But I'm like, you know, I guess, you know, if you snap, I guess you're not thinking in your right mind. I don't know. It's just unfortunate. I feel for those kids. I just couldn't imagine something like that. But you know, yeah, one, they said they didn't know because I guess there was a single shot, which a lot of people were surprised by that too. I know I was. A single shot, you know, usually there'll be multiple shots, but they said with a single shot, they don't know if their shot is the one that killed him or his. Because maybe he went to shoot himself and they don't know which one did it, but he's not alive. So, you know, I mean, it's crazy. Absolutely not. He told her he was going to unalive her, but took the children. Mental health, my butt. Yeah, a lot of people, XO, Baby Mo, a lot of people are saying that. So, you know, while I can, thank you for the comment. While I can empathize with people, you know, you can't empathize with everybody. I'm just saying, like, because, like, man, this costs so many lives. Like you know, everybody ain't crazy. Some people know exactly what they're doing, and so yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't think none of these people deserve to be shot. My thing is this: if you are and deleted, if you have a problem with somebody or they getting to you, we got to start learning how to walk away and leave them alone. Now, if they come following you or putting hands on you, give them a good 1-2, and that's it. Let them know, leave me the hell alone. But you don't have to get to that point. Go check in the hospital, get some help, do something. Sometimes you have to take matters into your own hands because it could cost you your livelihood too. And so yeah, this is another unfortunate thing. I feel for those babies, though. I feel for those kids. Those kids are innocent. Children are always innocent in my book. They don't know this foolishness that the parents are dealing with and going through. The children are always the innocent bystanders, and I always feel for the children because I have children, and there's no way I would want something like that to happen to my children. You know what I mean? So yeah, I feel for those kids. And I don't think it should get to that level. But I do think people be dealing with stuff. But this is why learning how to deal with your emotions and all these things are very important and key. You get some help. Go talk to somebody. And as men, I don't think men should feel afraid to do that. And I don't think there should be any stigma behind a man going to get help and saying, "Hey, I need help. I don't feel right. I'm not coping." I don't think anything's wrong with that. We got to stop making it seem like it's a problem with a man or a man is weak if he feels like he need to get help and stuff. Because I just think that's important. I really do. DZ Stay Blessed, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you for the support. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button, y'all. Yeah, I just think that's another unfortunate situation. But yeah, they were saying he had some type of mental issues. He was looking for help. The parents didn't know what to do. And now this situation had happened and these kids are gone. It's just unfortunate. All right. So yeah, I just wanted to touch on that. And that's just now there's another story that's going around. I'm gonna pull this up, y'all. Then we're gonna move past this, but I just wanted to get it on here on the record. I don't know if you guys heard of this singer David. He spells his name D4vd. This guy has been arrested as well. I'm gonna pull up a little clip of what they're saying about him. He's been arrested. I think he was arrested a couple of days ago. I don't know. Has it been a week yet? I don't know. And I'm gonna pull it up and let you guys see what actually is happening with him. But I'm surprised they hadn't arrested him a long time ago. Check this out.
Welcome back. We are getting some more breaking news tonight right here in Los Angeles. The LAPD has arrested the singer David, who's also known as the 21-year-old David Burke, for the murder of Celeste Rivas. Now, this is a major update in an investigation into the death of a 14-year-old whose decomposed body was found in the trunk of David's Tesla last September. Let's bring in NBC's Camila Bernal, who's been following this one for us. This is a huge update. And for everybody that's been following this case since the discovery of the body in David's Tesla, the big question has always been, why has he not been named as suspect? Right. And today he's arrested.
Yes, and I can't tell you why it took so long, but he was arrested today on suspicion of murder. He has not been charged. So this is going to be presented to the DA on Monday. So we might get some charges on Monday. And it's serious because obviously we know it's on suspicion of murder. So he might be charged with murder. We knew that they had done interviews. We knew there was a grand jury. We knew they had canvassed for video in the area, but they never arrested him, like you mentioned. And everybody sort of questioned this in terms of, yes, she was in his Tesla. It was his car. Why is he not arrested quickly? And he wasn't. And we don't have an answer as to why, but we do know that he had been the focus of this investigation because of the relationship, because of his Tesla. And months later, we now have this arrest.
And we're looking at some of that video right there. The body was found in that impound lot, but the car was found not in that impound lot. It was towed there after being parked somewhere in Los Angeles, right?
Yeah, so they found her body in September, but authorities do believe that she was killed sometime in the spring. So her body had been in that frunk of the Tesla for a long time. It actually was discovered because it smelled so bad in that car and in that the tow yard. Someone essentially just walking by noticed a really horrible smell, and that's how authorities found her body. It had been decomposed. It was in horrible shape, and she was identified through forensics, so it wasn't like they were able to get a lot of clues from the body. So that's probably also a reason why it took investigators so long, because it's hard to piece together that information when you have a body that has been sitting in the summer in Los Angeles in the front of a car for months and months and months. And so they were trying to obviously piece everything together. Hopefully we'll get more information, because all we knew was that they had some sort of relationship, but we don't know a lot of what led us here.
Yeah, and yeah, this is one of those cases. It's a high-profile case in Los Angeles. LAPD is very tight-lipped, no suspects named, and yet on the side, on social media, all online, there are thousands and thousands of people that are following this case very closely and start their own investigation. So I imagine that complicates things. There's going to be some truth to some of what people have found. There's going to be some confusion.
And hopefully we'll get those details on Monday, because if we have charging documents, we'll have some of the evidence that police are actually looking into. And we did get some information from sources, but you're right. LAPD was very tight-lipped in terms of what actually happened here.
Yeah, hopefully some resolution soon. Camila Bernal, thank you so very much. We thank.
Yeah, this is another crazy story, y'all. I said it's not looking good for men this week, y'all. A lot of stories of men doing some crazy things. I'm just saying, this is unfortunate. I don't know what happened in this case, but it seems a little sketchy. How's a 14-year-old girl, decomposing body in your car, and y'all done parked the car somewhere and gone. The people have been reporting on this story all over social media. I've heard about this a while back, and I kind of been following it, but I didn't know what was going on. And I'm like, well, how is it that they found a body in his car and he didn't get arrested? I said the same thing, and I was surprised. Because, even for a black man, I'm saying a black dude, somebody dead in your car and they didn't arrest you, I was shocked. I was shocked, I'm not going to lie. And so I'm just like, whoa, wait a minute. Maybe because he's a celebrity. I didn't even know who this celebrity singer was until this situation popped up. And so, and then there's a song, and my son was telling me about the song that he made. He got a song. Apparently, there's a song that he made, and they said this song is basically telling you what happened. And I don't know the song. I don't know. Maybe y'all could look it up. I don't know. But they're saying that there's a song that he wrote and sang that is detailing what happened, talking about the girl, and it mentions her name and all of these kinds of things. And then they asked him about it, and he was saying, oh, that's not about her. That's about somebody else. And there's a girl that looks like the girl. I'm like, there's a lot. So apparently they're saying, allegedly, that he was fooling with this young girl, this underage girl. And then something, she ended up dead. Baby, somebody asked, what is he doing with this young girl? Good question. Because, first it was saying, oh, he may not have done nothing to her, but he was definitely, a pedophile is what they were saying. So then she ends up, they was saying this girl was at his concerts at a point. Y'all, this story goes deep, and I don't have time to go deep in these stories like this, so I don't go deep, but I was hearing bits and pieces of it. But it's a whole lot. It's a whole lot. This was his friend, they're saying he said at one point, but she was younger than him. She was underage. And we don't know, did this girl run away? There was speculation about that. There's a lot to this story that led up to them finally arresting him. And I don't know if he deleted this girl or somebody else or what, and they tried to hide it clearly because you're going to put her body in a trunk. And then at one point they said he was trying to go on tour while this had happened. So that girl body had been in there. Her body was badly decomposed. And they tried to get away with it, but child, I guess you done caught up to him. They done arrested him, child. And I guess soon they'll be talking about, deletion charges. I'm just saying. This is crazy. This is what I say. People be crazy. You don't know what people are like when you just see people on the surface. You don't know. I think everybody is capable of some crazy stuff. But what will you really go through with it is a difference. How some people talk crazy and act crazy, but they don't really go through with that. There's some who say it or don't say it and they actually go through with it. So this is another situation that's been lurking, and it's crazy as hell and unfortunate. Also, that young girl, and they done found this girl. She been in that car, y'all. She been in that car. Manny E, thank you for the super chat, says, who is David's father? Only heard about the mom wearing women's clothes and messing with young girls. suspect behavior. Exactly. I don't buy why it's taking so long. Child, Manny, I don't either. I don't know what the hell, I don't know who his father is. I mean, that's a good question. Cause maybe his father has some ties or something, or maybe that's helped to prolong this. I don't know, but that's a good question. But they got him in custody now, and they gonna look at that investigate that body, autopsy, whatever they got to do. And I don't know. I have a sneaky suspicion that he's going to jail for this. He's going to jail for this. I think they thought they hid the body and nobody was going to find it, and they end up finding it. So I think he's going to jail for this. I'm just saying. I could be wrong, but I think he is. But I was shocked that they hadn't arrested him when they found the body in his car. He was like, he didn't know how he get there, child. It was a lot. They've been talking about this for months and months and months on social media. I'm just like, who is this guy? And what the hell he doing with a 14? I said the same thing. But I think he going to jail, Manny. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. He's going to jail. He's going to jail. I think he's going to jail. I don't know. Something they said he's crazy. I don't know. But thank you once again. I appreciate the support. Child, I think he's going to jail. But I guess we'll keep you posted on this whole situation. But this was unfortunate as well. But I mean, he did something to this girl. He need to go to jail. That's all I'm saying. I don't condone this type of behavior. Something ain't right. Something ain't right. Something is not adding up. Let's move on. I want to get to this post that Tina Campbell. If you guys aren't familiar with Tina Campbell, she is one half of the group Mary, a gospel group. And she's in the news because her husband, who's cheated on her a whole lot in the last couple of years, allegedly, but we know what it is. She said it herself, has filed for divorce. I told y'all that part. I talked about that. But not only that, there's some other claims coming out about him, and I want to talk about that as well. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. But let me play a little bit of what she had to say recently on this situation.
Praying for me. So I'm praying for y'all, and I'm praying for me. So, because of course the devil is attacking. I done wrote
Hold on. Shouting out. I don't know why it does that, but give me 1 second. It's like it's playing twice, child. I don't know why. I don't know why. But let me go back. Here we go.
I'm praying for y'all, and I'm praying for me. So, because of course the devil is attacking. I done wrote a song about praying. I done wrote a song shouting out everybody who's prayed and got me to this point because I was able to get to this point. Of course the devil don't want me praying. Of course the devil want me to sit and I've been in hiding, y'all, for 7 years. I come out every now and then and do something with Mary, but for the most part, I say no to everything. I turn down money. I turn down opportunities. I turn down career moves. I turn down all of that. And I've been doing it for 7 years. But how many of y'all know that 7 years is the number 7 represents the years of completion. And so maybe God was completing something and working something out of me and working something into me. And it gets intimidating. It gets intimidating when you're trying to do the will of the Lord and the devil is constantly fighting. It gets intimidating when you're aware of your inadequacies. But God is like, I called you and I chose you. I don't care nothing about your inadequacies. I don't need you to put your strength and your wisdom and your stuff with me. I'm God. I picked you. Just do what I said do. And sometimes it's hard because we are aware of us,
So that's a little bit, she said the devil is attacking. What do you think about what she's saying? Some people are saying she's going through it, y'all, because of all of this stuff that's going on with her and her husband. What's your thoughts on Miss Tina Campbell? Once again, I love their talent. What's going on, Frank G. Life? How are you? Oh, somebody says, my life, your entertainment says he's not going to jail. They're saying the death penalty. Oh shoot, child. Well, I mean, child. I can't say nothing about that. But what do y'all think about Tina Campbell, Mary's Tina Campbell, speaking out on this whole situation? Her husband, she spoke about this, and I talked about this before on her show. He's been cheating on her for quite some time. People are saying he's been cheating on her back and forth. They're saying now that she was going to file for divorce, so he jumped her to it because of some speculation. Now I'm gonna pull up this post that was on Instagram, and this is all alleged because I don't know if this is 100% truth or not, but this is what they're alleging, that there's a man who came out and said that she was going to file for divorce because, when she forgave him the first time, she didn't leave. She forgave her husband, stayed in her marriage, right? But they were saying allegedly that he was still cheating. He was still creeping. He was still dipping it and doing it. But they're alleging that he was not only just doing it with women, child, but he could have been doing it with men, allegedly. Allegedly. My God. Now, in this post, it says, it says, second man alleges sexual relationship with Teddy Campbell. He only filed for divorce first so he could say gay rumors were Tina's an act of revenge. So this is what they're saying, child, in this post right here. I'm going to read it over here because that's too small. But it's saying, in the wake of reports that Teddy Campbell has filed for divorce from Tina Campbell, a wave of past and newly resurfaced allegations has reignited, y'all, reignited an online conversation. Back in 2017, a man called into a YouTube talk show hosted by T.S. Madison and Kaya, claiming he had been sexually involved with Campbell, child. Oh, my God. The caller alleged he was once a guitar player for the gospel group Soul Seekers around 2000. That was the group that her husband, Teddy Campbell, was in. And he said, and Theodore would secretly hook up even inside the Campbell family home. Now, amid the current divorce news, another man using the IG name Music Mickey has resurfaced in comment sections of the Shade Room, alleging he had been intimate with Campbell over the last 2 years while possibly working as a production assistant. According to his claims, Campbell would frequently ask him to stay late at night, which is where their relationship allegedly began. And he further alleged that Campbell never stopped cheating. The comments were quickly deleted, but not before spreading across social media. The same individual also claimed that Tina had previously pushed Teddy to make public appearances, including on shows like Steve Harvey, to help shape a narrative centered around infidelity with women, while accusations involving men were never directly addressed publicly. It says he went on to suggest that Teddy may have filed for divorce first because Tina had discovered ongoing alleged affairs and was preparing to leave herself, and that filing first could allow him to frame any future claims about his sexuality as retaliation. While there is no verified evidence supporting either of the 2017 caller's story or the recent events or allegations, social media users have been forming strong opinions, with some arguing that patterns of hypersexual behavior could extend beyond gender. The man also alleged that Tina's emotional breakdowns seen publicly in the past were not solely about women because she had always been aware of his acts with women, but were deeply tied to discovering alleged relationships with men. Child. Once again, this is all alleged. This is what they're alleging. That is part of the reason. They're saying he jumped in and filed a divorce, but she was going to do it. But this is, I don't know. This is alleged. So this is a lot of alleging. You know what I'm saying? And this is something I've heard before. But once again, I didn't dive deep into it because I didn't know. And once again, it's still all speculation. So, he filed for divorce. So I don't know if she was really going to file for it or she was just threatening to file, but he filed. So he filed. And they're getting a divorce. I seen a clip of her in their church. She's, jumping all over across the stage and stuff. She seemed hurt by what's happening because that is her husband. She has 4 children with him. So I could just guess that that's a horrible situation. You know what I mean? And especially for it to be out in public, especially especially being all in the public eye. I wouldn't want my business out there like that. 404 Roddy says Tina is far from innocent. I don't think anybody is 100% innocent in any situation. You know what I mean? I think a relationship takes 2. But I think people got to start being honest about their intentions and what it is they're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Because it comes out anyway. I mean, what you do in the dark comes out to the light. So it comes out anyway. People, and then they're public figures, so everybody know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? It's not like us regular people. Well, with something happening, people don't know. You could kind of deal with it without the public, but y'all, I don't understand it. Y'all doing whatever y'all want to do, and then people are still going to get wind of it. People are still going to figure out or find out or have something to say about what y'all going on, and everybody's going to be talking about it. So people are talking about it. there are a lot of difference of opinions on this whole situation and stuff. There are people who still don't like Tina because they say she's MAGA. There's that where they're saying that, she supports Donald Trump, so they don't care what happens there. I've heard that as well, and so it's a lot going on out here. But, there have been speculation about her husband and stuff doing that, and you just never know what to believe because there's always people can lie and make up things. There's no way to prove all of that unless, somebody had pictures and a video of them in the act. I'm just saying. Oh my God. So I'm just saying it's just a hot mess in general. It really is. It's just a hot mess. Young Riaz, how are you? Thank you so much for being here. I hope I'm saying that right. Baby, it's just a hot mess all the way around. And hopefully they can get to a better place. That's, hopefully everybody can recover. And I'm not laughing at it. I'm just saying I hope people can recover. It's a lot that be going on all at once. But this is a lot of stories, child. And child, it just be a hot mess. So you just want to go home, go to bed, watch a movie, eat a snack, and go to sleep, child. By the way, that's my favorite thing to do. Watch movies and have a snack and go to sleep. And relax my nerve and stay off of social media because there's nothing but bad news all over. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and when you're a public figure, you can't escape because everywhere you look, somebody, especially if you're really famous, people are always talking about you. And people trying to ask you questions and figure out what's going on and speculating and making their own conclusions and stuff like that. I couldn't imagine stuff like that. That would drive me crazy. It really would. You know what I'm saying? All right, y'all. We're going to move on. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. Hit the like button for me, please. Please hit the like button. So I want to move on to this video that I've been holding on to. I want to react to this because this was kind of interesting. And I've seen it all over social media already. But I want to go ahead and react to it. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button, okay? Hit the like button. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Shout out to My Life, Your Entertainment. Thank you so much for the super chat. It says, even though Mary are gospel artists, they sold their souls as well, similar to Kirk Franklin and many others cosplaying righteousness. The devil is just collecting. That's all. Just pray for them, child. Listen, My Life, Your Entertainment, I get where you're coming from. I totally get it. And I can speak to it, but I'm going to leave that. I'm going to let you do that. Thank you so much for the super chat. You are definitely on to something. Trust me. And I know a little too well that a lot of these artists who are considered gospel Christian artists, there's a lot behind that for sure. You get what I'm saying? There's a lot behind it for sure. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. Make sure you guys are supporting via super chat or Cash App to support the channel, y'all. Make sure you're supported and also hit the like button. However many people we have in here, make sure we have just as many likes. All right? Hit the like button, y'all. Let's move on, you guys. Here we go.
Yeah, it's pulling over.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, you ready?
Oh my gosh, I have a little bit of a I want to ask you. Okay, so I have not had luck so far, and not that like I'm looking for it to be fast or.
Now, before we continue with this, y'all, so I just wanted to get that news part out of it, but now back to the regularly scheduled program. Back to the Modern Woman Hyena Talk. That's what this channel is about, all right? So we're going to get into it. Make sure you hit the like button. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Make sure you give a super chat or Cash App to support the channel, y'all, all right? Let's get into it. Here we go.
Easy, but oh my goodness, with the scams and the fake accounts.
Have you been on? Okay, have you been? This your first time on the show, or you been on the show?
No, this is my first time.
Okay. Yes, I will say this: we definitely are doing our best to get rid of the catfish accounts. Oh God, I think I'm feeling a little under the weather. Let me one more time. I got one more cough. Oh no, I can't be getting sick. But so we are doing our best to get rid of the fake accounts. I think this will help you because you'll get a chance to show your personality.
Yeah.
Yes, all dating apps kind of have that issue, so I'm happy you're not allowing them to mislead you. But I have to say this: dating is I think this is the problem. You guys expect to just get instant success with Prince Charming, and it's actually never worked that way.
Yeah.
It's never worked that way. So you have to be patient when it comes to dating. And you also have to, let me see what you want first. Okay?
Okay.
All right, what's
Okay.
your name? What's your name again?
Courtney.
Courtney, where are you calling me from?
I'm from the East Coast, but I now live in Missouri. I moved cross country.
Okay, how old are you?
I stopped counting at 40. I'm not over 45, but I'm 40.
Wait, was she
How old are
40?
you, Courtney?
40. I think I'm 43, but I don't really.
Okay, so Courtney, here's the deal. Do you want to date a liar?
Okay, so this is why they want me to react to this. 'Cause she said she stopped counting at 40. I know you lying. Girl, you stopped counting. You can stop counting, but I'm pretty sure you still know how old you are. We could play that game like, oh, just stop counting, but you still know how old. You still got your birth certificate says your age. So you can stop counting all you want. You still should know. You still know how old you actually are. Yes, Lord. Oh my God, child. I mean, we could guess about 55. Let's continue.
No, of course not.
Okay, so then you can't start off being a liar. Here's the
Okay.
problem right here, lady.
And I wouldn't want to leave it up to people to guess. I'm just saying, because she might not like that number. I'm just saying. Shout out to her. Let's continue.
You cannot be who you don't want, right? So you can't be afraid to tell your age and then you want to hide that. You have to be your authentic self in order to get somebody to date you authentically. So if you're
Agreed.
not
I
gonna,
just don't want to count. I just don't want to. I like to think of myself as 40. I guess that's just a mental
okay, yeah,
thing.
you want to create a make believe narrative. So when a man comes to you with a make believe narrative, don't be mad at him because that's what
No.
you
All
want to
right.
do.
I
Okay.
mean, a lot of people might like to think of themselves as 20, but it don't mean you're really 20. I mean, yeah, most people like to think of themselves as millionaires, but does that mean you really have millions of dollars in the bank? Hell no. This is where this is the delusion that I be talking about. This is the delusion that I be talking about. You can just make up and create any type of delusional mentality you want to, and it's supposed to be acceptable. But you want men to be realistic and all together, mentally stable, emotionally intelligent. They want men to have it all. But I said it before, it's a projection. You want men to have it all because you don't have it. Period. A lot of people who do that, they don't have what they're asking for. That's why they're asking for it. Most people who look, most women, let's say women, because that's who asking for all this money, because they want it because they don't have it. The majority of the women who are asking for men with all this money is because they don't have it. You want a rich man, why? Because you're not rich. Because there's something you can gain from that. That's all you most women who want rich men want a rich man. Why? Because they are not rich. They want you to pay all their bills. Why? Because they're struggling paying their bills. It's not always the situation where the woman is financially stable and she has this career and this money and she just wants somebody to match her. That's not the majority. That's actually a small percentage of women who are in that position. So the majority of the women who are asking for all of that are broke themselves. That's why they need help. That's why you want somebody to pay all your bills because you're struggling. You want somebody with money because you don't have none. You want somebody to pay for everything because you're struggling to do it and you don't have it. So that's just how it goes, you know. Let's continue. So I don't know. Let's continue.
Fair.
So
It's
I'm
okay to
happy
look
we
at it.
got
Yeah.
here. I'm happy we got
Okay.
here because the first thing you said is you're having a challenge. You're not having the greatest luck. Well, in the 10 seconds of me starting to ask you questions, I can see that there's some things on your own end that you have to be willing.
And wait a minute, let me say this before Kendra finish. A lot of times, a lot of these women are struggling with the outcomes because they're not really dressing up and looking nice and going to places where they could find nice looking men. They're not doing it. They be going to work. A lot of times they just look casual like that. She in her scrubs. That's how a lot of them be looking. They don't really be putting in the effort to really look nice. I mean, put it together and look nice and go out and lose some weight and slim down and really put on a cute dress and go somewhere where the men are at, the decent. They don't be doing that. They be looking just like casual like that, like they're going to work and they think a man just gonna come out the blue and just grab them and say, "Oh, you gonna be my wife, a rich tall man." You know what I mean? It's a delusional fairy tale mindset that a lot of women have. And they have it, they just don't want to admit to it. Let's continue.
To perfect and make peace with.
Fair.
Like You know, here's the thing, ladies, and I've been sitting here for 6 years now, and I feel that sometimes women in particular, you want this amazing man, but then you want to keep all the things that you want to share a secret. It don't work that way, honey.
Yeah. Fair.
Well, yeah, you want to be delusional. It's a delusional mentality. You want to do what you want to do, and you want him to do what you tell him to do. You want him to do and be what and who you think he should be at all times, and you could just be your old regular self. You don't want to, a lot of these women don't want to do much. You want to just sit back, be big and lazy and just tired and whatever. You don't want to put in any effort or anything. It's just, I can be who I am. And if you don't love me where I'm at, what's the saying? If you don't love me at my worst, then you don't deserve me at my best. Well, you want this man, and why do you deserve him at his best? You remember, you want him at the finish line. You want them, completely there. So why do you deserve him at his best when he deserves you at your worst? And he got to wait for your best to show up, if it ever does. Why is that? I don't know. I don't understand that part for the life of me. But you want him to come together 100%, but you want him to just accept you? That's not fair.
Fair. I'm open to constructive changes, so that's fair.
Okay. So how old are you, Courtney?
I'm 43.
Okay. Do you have any children?
I do.
Okay. How many kids?
I have 4.
Okay. How old are your 4 kids?
I have a daughter who's 21.
Mm-hmm.
I have a son who's 10.
Okay.
I have a little girl who's 4.
Okay.
And I have one more who's 7 months old.
Okay. By how many men?
3.
3 men. And why are you not with the 7-month-old?
It took some time, but I decided that I couldn't grow in that relationship anymore. So we amicably, we split up.
Okay. And have you ever been married?
Yes.
When did you get, how many times?
I've been married once, engaged twice, married once.
What, was you married to do the 4-month and 7-month and a 4-year-old have the same dad?
Yes.
They do. Okay. So which dad did you marry?
The 10-year-old's dad.
Got you. Okay. So we're divorced. What do you do for a living, Courtney?
I'm medical. I don't know if you can see my scrub.
Okay, medical. And what's your zodiac sign?
I'm a Leo.
A Leo. All right. So we got Courtney, Missouri, 43, Leo. Moms of 4 kids, 5 3 men, was once married, works in medical. So what kind of men are you looking for, Courtney?
A man who is honest, obviously, but we gotta be fair on that. So honest man, and someone, I guess, just who has their head on, who has been through enough experiences that they've learned enough and want to be an active, helpful, or just participating, parent. I have to be obviously interested in kids or like kids to be with me because I have an array of ages, and I like children. So I like kids. Want someone who likes kids.
So do you mind if he has 4 kids?
No.
Okay, so you don't mind if he has 4 kids. Okay. Should he make a certain amount of money?
Yes and no. And my only reason of saying yes is just because I wouldn't want him to become dependent on me from where I'm at financially. So I would want someone to at least be stable themselves.
So is there a dollar amount to that?
Not exactly. I mean, let's say you make $50,000 a year, but you're an investor, or that you're not really a consumer. You're not out shopping, buying everything, in sight. Then you're saving more money. You may not make a lot of money, but you're able to do something with what money that you have. So in the same way, you're a $100,000, earner, but you're broke because you maxed out your credit cards or you want to be cute. I'm not that kind of person. I'd rather be stable and invest and grow my money versus trying to look cute and having stuff.
Okay. What are your deal breakers?
Lying, perpetrating, and really a negative attitude. Somebody who he knows everything and doesn't have anything to he can't be taught anything, or someone who's just really just grouchy or irritated easy. Doesn't have a lot of patience.
Okay.
So I mean, and listen, I hear what she's saying. I do agree with her with the spending thing. I do agree with that. But what I think what is a red flag is when she says she don't want somebody that's why would you assume the man is grouchy, and he doesn't want to learn anything? So that means she wants to teach him something. I was watching Thon. I think Don. I think he. I wonder if if I recall, I think he did this one. Um, and I agree that you're saying you want a man that you can teach something. So I think when women say that, it's because either the last relationship that they was in or one of the relationships that they was in, they felt like the man knew it all, like he knew more, like he was right a lot of the times. And one thing I know about women, a lot of us we don't like to be wrong. We always want to be right. And that's a problem. We always want to be right even when we're wrong. And sometimes you want the men just to accept that and say, okay, well, I'm gonna just let her be right, But then there are situations where you're just wrong, and you can't just be made to believe that you're right when you're wrong on something that matters. And so I think a lot of women struggle with that, and there may be some men that struggle with that, but honestly, when I'm talking, listen, I put myself in it too, y'all. Y'all know I am not afraid to say that I've been there, done that. Okay, I put myself in there. I've been there to a degree. Like, yeah, I've wanted to be right. This is how I could talk about it. This is why I talk about it, honestly, because I'm very vocal about it, and I've worn my husband out with these conversations. Like, he don't want to hear about this all the time, but he knows, and he could tell you too. But he it's like he doesn't harp on it, but he knows me. He knows me up and down, in and out. Okay. So he knows, like, he knows I'm not lying. It's like, no, I've been there. And this is why that's part of the reason why I have these conversations. It's not to just harp on all the women. And it's just for entertainment at this point, and it's fun, but hopefully there's something you learn. I put myself in some of these situations. I can't relate to all of them, but I understand. But I can relate because I've been there. I just been married a long time. And I just been I've gone through these phases with my husband. That's the only difference. A lot of these women were in marriages, they couldn't make it. Like, that either they couldn't deal with the man or the man couldn't deal with them. Or, you know what I mean? They just couldn't get to the other side. I just been married a long time, but hell, I went through a lot of these changes too. I was raised by a single mother, and I say that because it is not all because of my single mother, but because I think there was some valuable lessons I've learned from my mother, but the majority of them was more like, more leading towards a single mother mindset, not a wife. I couldn't sit here and lie and say, oh, I was raised by my mother to be a wife. That would be a lie. And I'm not trying to do that. That ain't true. That ain't the truth. I wish, I was raised early, young with the, tendencies and the know-how to be a wife and all of those things. I had to learn on my own, and the willingness of learning came because I wanted to. You have to want to be in that position, but it does not come without any obstacles or issues. You get what I'm saying? So this is why I could relate to a lot of the women. Even women give me pushback, but still, because they don't listen to all of the content. Some women. Shout out to the women who watch and support the channel, because I do have women who support the channel. Shout out to y'all. I love y'all for that. But there are some who don't really watch the content, and they just see a little bit and they don't like it. But that's all right. But I actually talk about this all the time. Look, I relate. I can get, this is why I understand it, and I understand why it's foolish, and I understand that you don't have to stay there, that you can change your mentality. You can't base everything on the man, but you have to do your part. That's all I'm saying. And that, once again, accountability, shout out to Kevin Samuels, may he rest in peace, but he's right. Accountability is like kryptonite, child. The minute you try to hold a woman accountable and try to tell her, I get where you coming from, sis, but you need to change some things, baby. You can't just put it all on the men. You need to do this, and I get you. I feel you, but I'm not gonna condone your behavior just because I'm a woman, and I'm not a part of the Bonnet Crew society members where y'all just accept anything and everything goes. That's where you miss me, and that's where I can't do that, because I have daughters, and a lot of these people some of these younger people don't have children, or their children are young and they don't get it. I've raised children. Me and my husband, we raised our majority of our kids are grown. We've raised children. We got to set examples. And so you know, and if that's not a reason to shape your narrative or shape your mentality and get yourself together, I don't know what is, unless you just don't care. But no, I want we raised our kids in such a way to where they have they're not the typical modern, they're not the typical modern young women and men. Okay. They don't think like the typical modern young women out here because they have both perspectives. They understand the nature of women and men, and that's how we're raising them, to understand each other. So hopefully when they get married, they understand, hey, and they have an example in front of them to look at. Now, they're not going to do everything just like us, but at least they have an example of what, the direction they should be going. Whether they choose that or not, because we can't choose for them, they have an example in front of them. And so this is why I say, hey, I get where you're coming from. I get women, but this is why I speak on it. And this is why I throw a little bit of my experience in there, because I believe that experience can be a teacher. I've been through it. I'm still here. We're married, and we plan on being married till one of us is out of here first, whoever. I'm not looking forward to that, but that's life. So this is why I give my perspective. Some people like it, some people hate it, but you can't grow and learn if you're not willing to listen to people who have been there and telling you, hey, I've been there, I understand you. I haven't been through everything you've gone through, because everybody's experience is different, but I can relate to where you are and how you're thinking and how we make mistakes as women. I'm not saying men, and the pushback that I get is, oh, well, you always talk about, yeah, because women are the ones y'all don't want to hear anything. Men get to hear how they're failing, how they're not leveling up, how they're not doing this. And they also get to hear of what they should be doing to level up, and how they should be leveling up, and how they should be moving. They get it all. They get the backlash, they get the teachings, they get the criticism, they get it all, and they've always gotten it, and they always get it. Women have not always gotten criticism. And if they have, they don't listen to it. They'll listen to constructive criticism. She couldn't even say constructive criticism. This lady said constructive teaching or something else. They don't want to hear constructive criticism. They don't want any type of criticism. They don't want to hear anything that counters what they feel and believe is the right way, even though they're not getting the outcomes that they're looking for. Even though what you're doing is not yielding you the results you want, you still don't want to hear nothing opposing. You don't want to hear, put your clothes on, dress appropriately, learn some things, get yourself together. You don't want to hear the things that would get you the outcome, what makes me question whether you really want it or not, or is this just something you want to complain about? So yeah, so of course it's like, it is kind of like I said it before, chastising the child. Like, you want to tell your child not to do certain things, they want to do it, but you gotta tell them, no, you can't do it, and I'm not gonna let you do it. And this is why. They're not going to like it, but they got to accept it, and they learn from it. And that's how you grow. So yeah, while people are free, because listen, I can't control what nobody does in their own lives, and I don't want to. This is just my opinion, because I have to remind people of that too. This is the platform I created so that I can say what I believe and think, and it's my own opinion. Is it law? No. Because it's not nobody's law, nothing. If you don't want to do or listen, nobody's forcing you. You don't have to. You got your own life. And I'm not trying to be law for nobody. I'm just giving my opinion, what I believe, what I think, on what I see, and that's it. You don't have to, you can leave it, take it or leave it. You know what I'm saying? But understand, it's my opinion. Just like you have your opinion, and I don't care about your opinion and what you say and what you do. That's your life. If it works for you, girls, kudos to you. I don't care one way or another, to be honest. I respect it though. I can respect you from afar, what you choose to do. It ain't personal. Like I said, I don't take it personal. So I always like to reiterate that, because it's not. When I get off here, I don't care what nobody do. I really don't, while I'm on here, I don't really care what nobody do with their life, because it's your life. You got to do your life and live your life the way you want to. But I'll understand that, listen, there are examples out here. There are people who have the life that you want, and they can give you a little tidbits, a little bit of tools, of something to help you, that to maybe help you get there quicker, or help you, kind of guide you, because everybody don't know everything. We don't all know everything. So if somebody else, there's a lot of situations that I could speak on that has helped. You know what I'm saying? Because things we didn't know. And there are people who already achieved. There's a lot of things that I could really talk about in my personal life that I've progressed and learned and gained from other people giving us information. So I'm all open to information because I know that can help you. There's a lot of things that we didn't know that somebody ahead of us who knew, who was generous enough to say, hey, this is how you do such and such. When I'm about to do it a different way, no, they like, oh no, take this, do that. And this is how you get it. So I appreciate information because it's helpful. You don't always know what to do and where to go. You know what I'm saying? But there are people who have experienced what you're trying to do and they can help you. It could be an asset to you. You have friends or business associates or people who already have that and they realize, oh, you're trying to do this? Oh, here, check this out. Do this. What? I just don't understand why people don't see that we just happen to be talking about relationships. And because I'm in a relationship, thank God, a marriage, and we've been married a long time, I have a different perspective. And I think a lot of people are trying to get to this point, but they get the wrong information or they have the wrong idea. And that's why they stay stuck. So that's all I'm trying to give a little tidbit, a little bit of information that can help you if you want it. If you don't, it's fine. If you do, take it, try it, use it. If it work, it work. If it don't, it don't. Try something else. You know what I'm saying? Nobody has it all together. I'm not talking about a perfect marriage and nothing's perfect in my opinion. It's only perfect in how you choose to work through it and how you choose to work through your differences. That's all. And if you choose to work through your differences and love each other and still work on the differences, that's how you make it through. Is because if you're here for the right reasons, if you say you love the person, if you're there for till death do you part, for sickness and health, rich, poor, all of that, then you are vowing to one another to work through the differences, because there will be differences. There are issues in every relationship. There's issues in life, period. And I said this before, you're going to go through issues. You just make the choice of whether you want to go through the issues by yourself or with somebody. That's it. You're going to still go through stuff. You're still going to have to go through issues in life. We all go through the same issues. It's just pretty much the same issues. It's just you choosing whether to do it share it with somebody, share the good, the bad, the ugly with somebody, or by yourself. That's just that. That's just that. But let's continue.
Do you have baby daddy drama?
No.
No. Okay. So are the men involved in your children's life?
I have good co-parenting fathers. I don't have issues like that.
Okay. So now I wanted to get a couple of things because I wanted to see, because you just came on, you were like, I'm having a hard time. It's not happening fast. So I want to be 1000 with you, right? So, these are the things that a man is going to think about, right? So you have, you have your mom of 4. So a man that has money has to think, can I afford this, or what space do I fit in, right? So there are going to be some men who are going to just is going to count it out because of the amount of kids. And then I think the 7-month and the 4-year-old, definitely the 7-month-old, like certain quality guys are just not going to touch that. I just want to be honest, right? I'm not God. Here's the thing. I'm not God. I'm not saying that nothing can happen. I never like to talk in absolute terms, but I do think you have to understand just some of the things that men are going to think about, right? And when we think of, you don't have a strong money requirement, which I thought that's kind of good, because if there's a man that makes a lot of money, he's going to have a lot of options, right? And so then it just always comes down to, are you going to be the best of his options when it comes to that space? So with all your children's dads, it's impossible for all of them.
Well, yeah, unfortunately.
Okay.
Dad number one, I waited 11 years after I had my daughter to date anybody else because of what I went through with him. He was in prison, so it was not something that I would ever go back to or deal with. No, that's an absolute no. Because I don't have anything to do with that lifestyle. I wouldn't be in prison, don't do anything that would cause me to lose my, no.
Now let me just say this. I didn't realize, and I'm not even trying to be mean. What's going on, Nicole Lovely? Thank you so much for being here, beautiful. How are you? How you been? Let me say this. I've never seen, and I'm not, look, I came from the hood, y'all. I say it all the time. I may not look like I came from the hood, but I did. What was my point? Yeah. So I'm not shocked by women dating prisoners and men who go to jail and stuff like that. And you listen, I'm not even 100% against it. You know why? Because you never know. You never know what situation. You can encounter a fool, a crazy person. Your husband is the protector, right? Or your man could be the protector. And your man is out here defending you and he end up in jail. He end up in jail, okay? Oh my God. He could be in jail just like some of these people. I'm just saying. So we ain't talking about what you went to jail for. We're just saying, oh, in jail. Well, I'm curious as to why they go to jail. But what I'm saying is, I'm not no better than nobody. I'm just saying, hey, my husband could go to jail too. If I know if he's defending himself, he might fight. Okay? Because it's in him. So I'm just saying, like, he might have to defend me and whatever. He might be in jail. So somebody automatically just judge and say, oh my God, he in jail. So I don't want to be that judgmental because I know that it's a possibility. Everybody ain't in jail for, nefarious crimes and drugs or whatever. Everybody ain't in there for that, because I'm just saying. And when you go to jail, ain't nobody really caring. They're just like, oh, you're in jail. Jail is not jail is a bad look. So it doesn't matter what you're in there for. But I don't think a lot of these people are in jail because they be in jail for a long time. I don't think a lot of them in jail for defending themselves or from a fight or something. I think they're in there for something much greater. I'm just saying. But I ain't gonna judge it too hard. But yeah, I'm just saying, who knows? I don't want that. But I'm saying if he gotta defend me, okay. They might throw him in there for a little bit and he get out, he gonna get out. But other than that, a lot of these women always dealing with men who've been to jail several times, or either they're deceased. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I would assume they all got shot. I'm just saying. I don't know if that's the case. I'm not even trying. It just made me laugh for a second, but I'm not trying to laugh. I'm just saying I assume they was in that life, and they was out there, cops and robbers and got shot, deleted, and that's why they all be gone. Because just about every woman that come on this show, they have had a baby daddy that's in jail or dead. Two of them dead or the rest in jail. And I'm like, well, damn. I mean, I understand self-defense and you defending yourself, and maybe you could have got arrested for that, but all of them have been in jail. All of them in that life. Like, no, you picking from a group, a certain pool of men, and that's the problem. You keep picking from the same type of guy, and that's why they all end up in jail or dead. I'm just saying. And that's unfortunate, but you keep picking the same type of guys looking for a different outcome. That's all. What's going on, Red Talk Anna? How are you? How are you, love? Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. Shout out to you. Make sure you guys go and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Red Talk Anna. How you been? Good to see you. Baby, so let's continue.
No. Dad number two, the one I was married to, cheated pretty heavily.
Oh, Lord.
And that's why that marriage ended. Prostitutes, it was not pretty. So no, I wouldn't go back with him. We're great as friends. We're okay co-parenting. We both respect each other, and that's great for me. But no, we could not be in a relationship again because there's no trust. And similar with dad number three. He had 10 years, and in 10 years, he was not able to.
So why did you stay with a man for 10 years you couldn't marry?
We were best friends for almost 6 years. He didn't start changing and really become a different person almost until almost 7.5 years in. He just kind of fell off.
So when you say 10 years, were y'all in a relationship for 10 years or you knew him?
Oh, yeah. No, we were together for 10 years, and then almost 7 years in, we had a baby. And then 3 years later, we had one more baby. And that was a surprise. It wasn't planned.
Well, girl, if you're having sex, that's how babies get here, child.
For sure. Well, we all do our thing to try to avoid. I was on birth control. My birth control failed. So it wasn't a planned. It just happened.
Wait, did I miss something? Is this the one that was cheating? I may have missed something. Is this she talking about the one that cheated on her, or this another one? Child, Lord, him. How many? Oh my God! Oh my God! I don't know, child.
And I don't believe that lives come into our lives haphazardly. So I don't just kill babies. That isn't. I'm not into that. So if I got pregnant, I'm going to own up to my responsibilities and love my baby as much as I can. So that's what I do.
Well, nobody told you how to kill your baby, child. That wasn't
No.
that wasn't the option that people were
Oh,
coming up with the
sorry.
conclusion.
I'm just thinking, if you get pregnant by whoops, what are you going to do? I'm having my baby.
If you get pregnant by a wolf, what do you do? The fact is, though, y'all keep getting pregnant by wolves. Like, you don't see that it's a wolf. If it looks like a wolf, talks like a wolf, and move like a wolf, you don't see that it's a wolf, and you keep having babies for wolves and then complaining about it. Pregnancy is preventable. You don't have to, you know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't 1960. Like, there's what is it? If you're getting raw dogged, then you know what could happen. I'm just saying, like, there are plan B, there's things to prevent that. You know what I'm saying? Before it even get too far. Like, this ain't, come on, they act like, whew, child. They act like we stuck in the 50s and the 60s, like you don't have things to protect yourself. There's female condoms now. Girl, roll that condom up, shove it up in your vagina, and then go ahead on. Then you don't have to worry about that. But they're not doing that. And then they keep on complaining about it. Like, these things are out there to protect yourself from pregnancies. You don't have to be pregnant. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are lots of protections for things that are out there for you to use to prevent that. So so they act like, anyway, let's continue.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, you have a 7-month-old. How long have you been without a man?
We've been apart for almost a year now. So we
Is that
broke
your
up
longest
about a
that
year
you've been?
ago.
Is that the longest you ever been without a guy?
No, when I was alone for 11 years after my first daughter, I was celibate for all that time. I didn't want to date. I mean, that was such a scarring event, him going to prison and everything. I just want to take some time, work on myself.
Yeah, I think that, here's the unfortunate thing. You made some decisions throughout your life that the type of guy. Now, a man who's doesn't have, I don't want a man who's, most of the men that women desire in my show are thinkers, right? They're men that have to think, right? So this man has to think about all the things like, okay, one of the children's dad was in jail. Do I want to be attached, to a child is he going to be crazy if I do something with his kid? Like, it's like when you come with baggage, and I do believe if someone accepts you, they have to accept all of you. But I just want you to be conscious because, I feel like when you came on, you were so strong with, why can't I meet somebody? I think you just got to know some of the things that men are considering, before they sign up. Doesn't mean that you're not going to meet somebody, but these are all the things before a man signs up with you, he has to consider.
It's so interesting because for anybody, if I'm 40, I obviously have a past. My own, and does my past define me? No. And those things the experiences that I had, I moved on from. I've grown from. I've done things. So the man who's going to want me is going to understand. Any well-rounded person comes with experience.
Let me jump in.
Yeah, I mean, she's right. I mean, that is your past, but you got to understand that your past, because you have children from the past. That's and just like women who have been ran through, that is going to affect your future and how men look at you. But once again, and I think Kendra is going to speak on it. But I was thinking the exact same thing. Your past is an indication of your future. Say it like that, and I put it like that. And it's not, a guarantee or whatever. It's not written in stone, but you got to understand this is why you do certain things in your younger years to prepare for your future, right? You set certain things or put certain things in motion for your future, for the potential of your future, right? None of us knows what the future holds. None of us know what's going to happen. None of us know like how it's all going to turn out, but you put things in place. It's the reason you go to college. You go to college, right? For what? A potential career in the future. You know that if you go to school to be a doctor, that may yield you a certain income and you may have a certain life because of it. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean you don't have any struggles on your way there, but you put things in motion to prepare for the future, to try to ensure that you will have a decent life. So the same thing when it comes to men and relationships. That's why you don't go and just have all these babies by different men, because it's going to have a negative effect on your possibilities of getting a good man who's going to take you seriously, want to marry you and build a life with you, because most men don't want to take care of another man's child. And I think because women never thought about it, and nobody ever told them that, and they never thought about what men would want. It was all about what I want, what I want, what I want. So I could do, as a woman, most women think I could do whatever I want. And there's no consequences for it. I can go and have a baby. If I get pregnant, oh, no big deal. And it's just a random dude, a random pookie. It's okay, because a man is still going to want me. And this is what they tell women. Hey, it doesn't matter if you're a single mother. A man is going to want you, and he's going to love you and that baby or them babies, and you're going to be great, and he's going to take you on and all this kind of stuff. And that could be that could be possible for some. You know, there are women who have had a child before getting married, gotten married to their husbands and had children and built a life. Yeah, but that is not a guarantee for every single person. And the more children you have, you're putting yourself further and further from that possibility, in my opinion. And we've seen it happen. We're seeing it in real time. So I don't think women, thought about relationships and marriages for real. Some women. I think some women have, the ones who were taught about it and taught, what they should be expecting, and taught that they need to be married and all this. Yeah, they understood because they were taught that way. But for the women who are not taught that, no, they didn't think about it. They were told, go to school, get your education. You don't need a man right now. Have fun. Go run that body count up. And then they get pregnant. And then now you're a statistic, and you don't realize the negative impact that you just placed on yourself when it comes to relationships and the type of man that you might want. So you put yourself in a negative position, and then they don't think of that. They just, because they were taught, oh, you go have 4, 5, how many? She has 4 children. And okay, if you don't make that relationship work, oh, well, another man is going to be waiting around the bend. And if that don't work out, oh my God, you got all the choices in the world. You're so young, you don't have to worry about that. And until it catches up with them. And then when you're in this position, now you realize it may not be any hope for you. That ship has sailed. You've missed that opportunity, because you will miss that opportunity. There's not no endless amounts of opportunities for women to get especially the type of men that they want. And on top of that, the fact that you have multiple baby daddies, all of that doesn't help also, and the unrealistic expectations as well is not going to help you either. That's not in your favor. Avenge the Ancestors, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, hello, Queen DeeDee and Room Be First. A shout out to you. What's going on? How you been? Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. Is it Sarkil or Sarkil? Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you so much for being here, and thank you once again. Yeah, and so I just think a lot of women don't think about what men want, because that's the way we were taught. You don't worry about a man, you just worry about yourself. And then when you get older, when you've worried about yourself and made the decisions that you've made, and they weren't decisions that were in line with what you eventually gonna want, you miss out, and that's that, and you miss out, and it's nothing you can do about it, because it's not in your hands. See, the choice is not all just yours. And that's another thing too. A lot of women have been made to believe, or brainwashed and indoctrinated to believe that, when I'm ready, when I'm going to have my fun and I'm not going to do this and I'm going to do this and I'm make my choice. I'm going to go to college. Nothing wrong with college, but I'm saying you going and when I'm ready, I'm going to have my fun in my 20s and I don't need to be bogged down with a husband. I don't need to start a family early on. I can do it when I'm ready. Then when you hit late 30s, because that's when it typically is you done establish your life and your livelihood, but you got 2 kids along the way because you was having your fun, and having fun normally comes with either some type of STD or a baby, right? Or something worse. So you end up with a couple of babies and now you got your own house, you got your own money, your own car, and now you're ready to settle down because all of those play relationships didn't work out. So now you're getting older. Now you realize late 30s, you know what I'm saying? Almost hitting 40. You're like, oh, damn, and I thought I'd have a husband by now. You know, it ain't working out. They told me have my fun, do what I want. And then when I'm ready, the man is going to be around the corner. He's going to be tall, dark, and handsome. And he's going to make more money than I make. And he's going to take me and my kids and treat us like his own. And then when that doesn't happen, they're on here complaining, looking around. Then they're on Kendra G like, I'm not getting no results. With no shit, Sherlock. I'm just saying. Divine Photos, how you been? Thank you so much for the super chat. Says, ladies like her don't grasp men hold the key to relationships. Women can have preferences, but what does it matter if the man you want don't approach you? Exactly. Who you want gotta want you back. And that's contingent upon the man. The men have the say-so of who they want to pick for marriage and who they want to be with. Yeah, you got to agree to it. But I mean, if you meet a guy that you like, thank you, Divine Photos. Thank you so much for the super chat. And I appreciate you being here. If you find a guy that you like, you meet a guy that's tall, dark, handsome, got a good job, good head on his shoulders. He's attractive. You like him and you approach him. And he looking around like, who? I don't, no ma'am, Miss Pam. I don't, you're not the one, you're not it. Or he talks to you and he's nice to you, but he's not taking you seriously. You can't do nothing about it. I've seen videos of women crashing out, talking about, oh, the guy that I like doesn't like me. Well, you can't force him, baby. I don't know what y'all was thinking. But once again, there's this indoctrination, this one-sided mentality that I always talk about, of you only considering what you want, thinking of yourself, me, what I want, and you never consider what the men wanted. And now that y'all are finding out what the men want, it's too late. Y'all have already made the poor decisions. You can't take them back. This is where you find women who will find a guy and they lie about their children. They lie about how many children they have. Some of them even try to, get rid of their children. Or send their kids to live with their mamas or somebody and go out here like they ain't got no children because they realize they can't get what they want with the children. You made these decisions and now it's affecting what you qualify for when it comes to dating. So yeah, y'all set yourselves up for failure and there's nothing you could do about it at this point. And so this is why I try to tell women, look, young women, you don't have any kids, preserve that for your husband. There's nothing wrong with being married young. If you find the right guy and y'all want to be together, y'all build a life together. Everything is work. You can't go into a marriage, whether you young or old. You think it's going to be better or worse. Even though statistics show certain things, look, real life examples show you better. You could be married at 25. A lot of people have been married young and they stayed married to the end. But when you point that out, they're like, oh, you don't know what she went through. Well, you don't know what he went through either. You don't know what they went through in the marriage, but they went through it together and they vowed to stay together to the end. And a lot of people did that. That's the whole point. So they moved the goalposts, but then it's back to, well, I don't think you should get married young because those relationships don't work. Well, there's some that work and there's some that don't. But you think you wait until you get older is going to make it better? No, a lot of people get married older to still divorce. Or they never get married. That's the thing. And it's not like in the Black community, we have a high percentage of women who are getting married. They're at the bottom when it comes to marriage. So it ain't many of Black women that's getting married at this point. So how do y'all even know what it's going to do? It's not even happening. Hell, a lot of men don't even want to get married at this point because of how tragic it is and how bad the outcomes are. They don't even want to get married. So, and a lot of these women are looking for men with money. Even the men with money really don't want to get married because they don't want to jeopardize their livelihood and the things that they work hard for. They don't want to create a family with the wrong person, and then that person try to take everything from them. So, I mean, it is what it is. Let's continue.
Let me jump in.
Answer.
Let me jump
Go
in.
ahead.
You have not moved on because you have children by that man.
Yeah.
So you made a life
Yeah.
sentence with him, regardless of how you want to see it. Okay. So
Sure.
so moved on is there's no ties, there's no connection. You have
Yeah.
children with these men, so you're attached to them for life, whether you want to make that agreement or not. So, and I hear what you're saying, but there are women in their 40s that don't come with those things attached. So if you were the only woman on the planet, then that argument would be fair. But unfortunately, there's a lot of women on this planet, right?
Yeah.
So so that guy just, if he's the type of guy that I think that you desire, he would have a lot of choices, and not every woman in her 40s does come with that.
Fair.
So the type of guy that, it's tough. This is why I always say single season, you got to become your best if you want to attract the best. But the type of guy that you describe that you don't want, like, is a man that would need you in some type of financial accord, he's probably going to run to you first. Because he'll probably run to you first because he'll be willing, like, he need a place to stay, child. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's kind of like, it's kind of what it is. This is why sometimes men prey on different women that in those circumstances. But what I will say is this: sometimes we got to take a beat, and we just got to do self-reflection, and we just gotta become the best versions of ourselves so we can begin to attract better as we go along. I don't want to discourage you, but I just do want, it's like, I'm a woman, and I will be honest, if you were.
Well, Kendra, the damage has been done. She can better herself and for herself and for her kids, but it might not be feasible for any man to want to be with her until all her kids are grown, out the house, to where they live on their own, and she's just the only one in that household. And if a man finds her attractive at that point, maybe he might consider, but most men are not going for that. Once again, these young men now, these men are not, they're not doing that. These men are not, they are not taking on these women with these kids. They are serious about it. And they have financial celibacy. They like, we're not spending anything on no woman until they marry. They're holding it, keeping their wallets shut until marriage. They're serious about it. They're not playing no games. These are not the step crash dummies of 89. They're not playing. They mean it. They're not, and they serious about what they want. They don't want no overweight women. They don't want no old chicks. They don't want, and the young guys who are dating these older women, even they dating women that they would consider a baddie. Even they got a little, they got a little something going on for themselves. They may not look, they look like they have the aesthetic of what they would call a baddie. Even the older, they want to mess around with a cougar. They ain't taking her seriously. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, you gotta be a tantalizing cougar for them to even want to approach you. You can't look like you just hopped up out of bed and turned your swag on. You gotta look good. You gotta really look good for them to even want. And why would you even want that? I'm just saying. I'm not saying she wants that. I'm just saying a lot of these older women with grown kids and stuff like that. Why would you even want a young, YN in your face? Like, he ain't offering nothing. He just but to pound town, and that's about it. He not trying to get nothing serious with you. So I think, once again, the mistake for a lot of women is listen to the sisterhood, your old mothers and your grandmothers telling y'all this stuff, and now women are looking at the consequences of that. Let's continue.
For a guy, you told me all these things. There's no way I could date him because I have to accept all that energy, and I just would not want to be attached to those baby mamas because that would be too much for me. I don't want to be
I
attached
don't
to a
want to be
woman.
attached to them either.
Wait, Classy. Classy, I know you're lying. Wait a minute. A cool.
Oh my God.
Wait, now what? Not Classy. Classy? What age do you consider a cougar? Wait, Classy. I need you to answer this. What age would you consider a woman as a cougar? Because I need to see something. I'm trying to see something. What age, Classy, do you consider a woman to be a cougar? Let me know. Oh, I'm about to say, because Classy, I'm about to say, wait a minute now, hold up, wait a minute. Okay, you talking about the real cougar, all right. I meant the animal because it's in the jungle. Okay, gotcha. All right, because I'm about to say, hold up. Successful MD, thank you for the super chat. Says DeeDee, at this point, the probability or possibility for a needle in the haystack is beyond cooked for middle-aged relationships and marriage is sad. Thank you, Successful MD. You're absolutely, I agree. I mean, I agree. I mean, it is what it is. You are absolutely right. Thank you, Successful MD, for the super chat. I appreciate you. You are absolutely right. And, I'm just like, they starting to see it, though. They starting to see it, Successful MD. They starting to see it. And I mean, all I can say is, look, live your life. You don't have to be downtrodden and mad and bitter. Just live your life. It's the life you chose and you didn't know any better. There's nothing you can do about it. I mean, who knows? Who knows? You might meet a guy as later in life or something who like you and he looking for some attention and he want a woman and he ain't never had one, and y'all kids are grown out the house and y'all still single and you just old. You might find somebody at that point of your life, but it's going to be difficult. And I wish women would have gotten this information early on. That's why I say the next generation of women, maybe more of them will get it, and we'll see a different outcome. Let's finish the rest of this, y'all.
Girl,
That's why we're not together.
Child.
No, but we're not. But even though we co-parent, we're not close. I don't take any of that baggage and that other stuff with me. When we talk, it's about the kids. It isn't like we are living or even in the same state. No, I do not take on any of that. The father number one and I haven't talked in almost 5 years. If we speak at all, it's by text messaging. My daughter's over the age of 21. We don't have anything to talk about.
Okay.
With the 10-year-old, my son flies back and forth to visit with his father. We have correspondence about visiting. We don't have. There's no energy, I would say, coming in my space that I'm not welcoming. We don't have to deal with any drama. I don't have that kind of lifestyle. So, yeah, I will say a person has to get to know me than to get past all the stereotypes that would come with what's on paper. So fair. I hear you with that.
And why would a guy be lucky to be with you?
Because I'm a lover. I enjoy, I love loving. And most men, that's what's really that they need. They don't, everybody fusses about what what they're lacking. And really what they're lacking is, I think, just love, just that normal, having someone to be supportive and loving and be there for you. And I feel like I'm a dime a dozen. I'm not your typical girl. Like I said, I would consider myself like a unicorn, a 1%.
Oh hell no! Now see. I was giving you a little something, girl. Come on now. Now you tripping. Stop. We know that's not the truth. I'm sorry, ma'am. I don't know your name, but bless your heart. No, that's not true. Stop. Sarkil. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you once again. I appreciate you, ma'am. No, ma'am. We're not gonna let that slide. No, ma'am. No. Stop thinking like that. That's a turn off. When men hear that, they're gonna automatically they're already looking at you. I'm just saying. And you might could turn it around and look real good. I'm just saying. They're already looking at you. So when you say that, that just push them away even further. I'm just saying, stop saying that. Just show it. Show your. I don't even think a lot of men don't even care. Like what y'all say, y'all don't even care. A lot of times y'all don't care. They don't even care. A lot of men don't even care. So don't throw them off by saying that because that throws men off. I just want to let you know. Most men, when they hear that, they checked out. They already checked out with the 4 kids. So don't give them more stuff to check out even further, you know? If you are that loving of a person, just be loving. That's it. Just say you're a loving person. That's it. Because this one, that ain't,
Kind of people. Yes.
Are you serious right now?
Okay, what? Okay, for example.
All right, we got to do the Kendra cam.
I don't know if I can. I'm in the car.
Can you move
I
over
don't know
to
if
the
I can.
side? I don't want you to get hit by a car. Go out on the
I
other
know,
side.
right? I know.
I don't think she
I
can
tried
do
taking
it.
my hair down so you can see. I have really long hair, and
Okay,
normally
okay.
it's out. And,
Okay.
Yeah, we be rocking the same look, but not when I'm at work.
Oh, okay. She got, but mine. I bought mine. She actually grew hers. We do gotta do the
Yeah.
Kendra cam though, honey. So you do gotta get out the car, honey.
Okay, I'm trying to think how I can do that.
Okay, so I don't think she did the Kendra. They don't do the Kendra cam on YouTube. They do it on the thing. But listen, you know. Oh my God. We got to be realistic. That's all. And listen, I hope she can find what she's looking for, y'all. Y'all know how I feel about it. I hope you can find what you're looking for. And you know, hopefully, I mean, look, and I know a lot of guys be like, you know what, if a dude got with her, he would be considered a simp. Okay, even if so, she got her a simp. If a man signs up for it, that's his choice. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? That's his choice. If he want to be, if you know, if he like what he is dealing with and she like him, well, at least she got somebody. You know what I'm saying? So if she can get that in her situation that she's in, hell, kudos to her. Kudos to her. You know, I'm all for you getting what you want. But the problem is a lot of women are complaining because they're not getting what they want. They're not getting what they want. And that's the real problem. And they don't want to, and they think it's all the fault of the men and not their own. When you play a part too, you know, unrealistic expectations, this elitist mindset, this idea that you're the prize and the man's supposed to treat you like a princess or a queen, and he's supposed to just acquiesce to you on everything and do what you want all the time and just be there to serve you is insane. That's what a lot of women are looking for. They're looking for somebody who's going to come with all the money, but they want him to be rich, damn near 6 feet tall, dark and handsome, you know, a man with options. They want him to do all this for them. And a lot of them don't even know how to show up for a man. You don't even know how to be what the man needs you to be. You just want to be you and you want him to accept you and do all these things. And that's just, they're not getting that. They're not getting that. And that's really the real problem. That is the real problem. And there are some women who realize that, but then there are others who still don't get it. You know what I mean? There's another clip I want to play for y'all, and then we're going to wrap this up. I thought this clip was very interesting, y'all. This is why people are saying bring shame back. That shame needs to be brought back ASAP. Oh my God. You know, right away. And so I want to get y'all thoughts on this. So make sure you chime in. Let me know your thoughts on this particular clip, y'all. Check it out. Make sure y'all are hitting the like button. Here we go.
Put it this way, we all know that your parents failed.
Opening that can of fucking worms.
Your parents failed. They're fucking losers. Scum of the earth.
Okay,
That's your opinion.
We don't
have
to
show our gasket to get attention.
But I haven't f***ed my life. I own 3 properties.
Not yet. Who gives a fuck? No one cares.
We got taught.
You weren't taught to take your clothes off. When you sit there and talk about your day and what you do at work, what the fuck do you talk about?
Don't just do OnlyFans, I do escorting as well.
Oh!
I rock up to fucking houses. Sometimes they're not the nicest. My boyfriend.
Oh, hold on. That's a man right there. That's a man. I guess these two are women. That's a man. It says, which side are you on? Traditional mothers versus digital creators. This escalated quickly. The 2026 intersexual contract, stability versus freedom. 2 value systems collide. Let's continue.
Friend took me there. At the time, he had to sit out the front.
Your boyfriend took you to a...
What the f***? You be okay with your daughter doing OnlyFans?
Yes.
Yes.
Can help the world. When you're thirsty, you breed thirsty. So you behave the way you behave. You have a daughter, and that's not good.
It's not something that should be judged.
Does your mother approve of what you do?
Of course she does. She loves me and supports me. She's a great mother. She loves me.
You tell me you go over for Sunday roast and you talk about how your job's been for the last week, and you tell your mum you've had 10 faith in you.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
My mum raised me to not be judgmental, and I'm so glad that.
Good for you. Look how it's going for you.
I've been f***ed by over 1,000 people, and I've never had that.
You've been f***ed by over 1,000 people. Fuck me. Oh,
Your first baby's going to drop out.
Damn! Did y'all hear that? She said your first baby is gonna drop out. She said she's been effed by over 1,000 men, and that lady said your first baby gonna drop out, baby. Child, it's just gonna fall out. Child, I thought that was hilarious. I thought that was funny, for real. Like, damn, they don't, I mean, are y'all hearing what they're saying? I hope y'all can hear what they're saying. Baby, this is crazy. Sarkil, thank you for the super chat once again. I don't know if I got this one or not. I appreciate you, bro. Successful MD says, women's favorite line now is, oh, you're doing well for yourself. I know you don't want to die alone. My response, I will die alone anyway. Adios. Right. Oh my God. Yeah, a lot of times too, when you address this foolishness, or you know, they start saying, well, I do well for myself. Yeah, right. They do say that. I do well for myself, and I make this amount of money. I have this businesses and all this. And who gives a shit? Nobody really cares. Girl, what that got to do with your morals and your values? I'm just saying, they don't want to hear that. And they justify it with the money that they make. Nobody cares, though. Nobody really be caring. Let's continue. Child, she said the baby just gonna fall out.
I've slept with probably 5 guys and I'm 49.
That's like
that's called respect.
She 40. Oh, that's a whole nother story. Oh my God. That's a whole nother story. She said she's 49. Ooh.
It's what the actual fuck? How old are you?
28.
And you've f***ed over 1,000 guys. Fuck. I can't believe it. I cannot believe you've f***ed over 1,000 in a year. What the fuck?
You're not a garage. I don't want to be disrespectful to you as a woman, but if that's what you're doing, you do have mental health problems. That's your opinion.
I have morals. I have morals.
This is the shit that the younger generation is listening to. It is what's coming out of your mouth.
This was hilarious. Oh my God. I don't know where this came from, but I saw this. Child, this is why they say shame need to be brought back. Oh my God. This was hilarious, but listen, this is the mentality of a lot of people. That girl was 28. They look older too. They probably all the girls on, well, you know, all the ones on this side was probably in their 20s. They look older, and then they look older. She 49. Lord have mercy. Jesus Christ. They all look old. I'm just saying, but the values, that lady said she 49, she only have 5 bodies, and they got over 1,000. I'm like, ooh, it shows you the difference. These women now ain't got nothing on the women back in the day. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they can compare. I think they really doing it big now. They really showing what it do. I'm just saying. To the point where they have to go get their vaginas redone because there is so much running through and out and in and out, and it just can't hold nothing no more. You know what I mean? Successful MD, thank you once again for the super chat. Says if she can't walk to the mailbox without huffing, child. Oh my God. Gotcha. If she can't walk to the mailbox without huffing, you saying, what, peace out, deuces, child. I get it. Thank you, Successful MD. Whitney, thank you for the super chat. Says, D, your facial expression is taking me. I don't even be recognizing, Whitney. I don't even be recognizing. Like, y'all be looking at my face. I just don't be. I don't even looking at my face. But baby, whatever my face was giving is probably what I was thinking. Like, child, I know you lying. Like, come on. And then I know they showed a picture. There was they showed a picture of 1,000 people, and you just imagine one woman allowing 1,000 men. That picture, I don't know if they showed it in this clip. Thank you, Whitney. I appreciate you for the super chat. Thank you. But There was a guy was talking about this. I don't know if they showed it in this clip. I don't remember. Showed a picture of 1,000 people, and that's the amount of people that you let into your body. That was a lot. That's too much. That's too much. That's what I'm saying. They gotta, and they think that that's cute because they're making some money. Like to everything, all money ain't good money. Oh my God. I'm just saying, all money ain't good money. Like that I wouldn't feel good about that. I wouldn't feel good about that at all. But this is how they think, and they just sitting here like, oh, nothing, no big deal, just drinking their smoothie. Like, oh my God, 1,000. I'm gonna rack up 1,000 more next year. 1,000 more next year, and I'm gonna do it. And I don't care if my daughters are doing it, and that they can just be, like me. Oh my God, I'm so happy. Didn't want a man to marry them. Then you want a man to marry you. You think you could get a husband and a family and build a life together and with and you racking up thousands and thousands of bodies, and a man's supposed to feel happy and pleased to say, this is my wife. Y'all can just see her on OnlyFans anytime you want. I'm going to be with, like, that ain't happening. That ain't happening. Oh my God. The only way that might happen if you paying him a hefty sum. Somebody might be like in desperate need of a job and need some money. And if you pay him good, yeah, they probably will do it. I'm just saying they don't have nothing to lose. I'm just saying. Successful MD, thank you once again for the super chat. Says Tyler Perry and Tubi will recruit you and Danica. Oh my God. For what? What we gonna do? They don't want this on they don't want us on their platform. That we gonna scare all the hyenas off. They ain't gonna want to watch the show. We go on that show, they're gonna be like, no, all the women gonna be mad. They're gonna be mad and they ain't gonna want to watch. We not supporting that shit. That's how they gonna be successful. They ain't gonna want to support it. They don't want to hear nothing what me or Danica would have to say. They don't want to hear that. It's because it speaks too much truth. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. Danica be telling the truth. She's been telling the truth. They don't want to hear it. And then she's married. You talking about two married women telling the truth about the nature of women. They don't want to hear that. They'll be mad. And then they be mad on top of that too. There ain't nothing they can really say, because might I add, two attractive women, by the way. I will say that about myself. Yeah, and Danica is nothing to sneeze at. She's an attractive woman. So two attractive women married, talking about the nature of women, baby, they don't want to hear that. They're going to be pissed off. They would be pissed off. They would be like, well, who are these? They're going to be like, these pick-me's. That's what they're going to be saying. They'll be like, that show ain't going to have no ratings. Successful MD. They ain't going to have no ratings. Or they might, because y'all going to watch, right? Y'all going to support. Y'all will watch, right? So, yeah, so maybe the men will watch, of course. They'll support because they get it. But the women, they're going to be like, I don't want to watch that. They'll be ready to cancel it with the quickness, child. Thank you, Successful MD. I appreciate you. Yeah, they're not going to want to see nothing like that. They already can't stand it now. Be calling us pick-me's and all kinds of stuff. So, yeah, they won't want to support it. And they'll be like, well, damn. And it don't matter if you married. That don't mean nothing to them. They're like, marriage ain't the goal. First they're like, they want a man to be supportive and all these good things. So if he is a good man, he wants you, he probably would want to marry you, but because you can't get it, it's like, oh, marriage ain't the goal, and marriage ain't this and that and all that, and it ain't, they ain't trying to hear that. They want the channels and the women to say, you know what, all these ninjas ain't nothing. They all just this and they controlling and they all just bad and they all bad. And we the prize and we should want this and they should be giving it to us. And if they don't, something wrong with it. They want people to give them the delusional version, the watered down delusional version of how they should get a man and what a man should be doing. That's all. And a lot of the women who be telling them that be single. A lot of the women who be telling y'all that foolishness don't be having no man, ain't never got no man, can't get a man to save their life and ain't got no husband. But move the goalpost. Well, a man ain't the end all be all. Okay, it's not. But the women that you talking to, they want a man. That's the whole point. That's why they complaining. A man is not the end all be all, but a lot of these women still want a man. But then when you don't want to hear anything that will tell you how to get it because you don't want to do it, all of a sudden now it's not the end all be all that you could care. If you don't get one, you ain't going to fall apart. Well, you shouldn't fall apart. You still want to live your life. I wouldn't suggest you fall apart. I would suggest you live your life and be happy and accept the fact that you may not get one. If you get one, great, but you may not. If you've exhausted all of your possibilities and options and you don't want to hear anything, so just be content with where you are. You don't have to be miserable and upset. You could be a happy person. You know what I mean? But what drives people to be unhappy and bitter and mad because they can't get what they want. You know what I'm saying? You can't get what you want, but you're trying to make it seem like you can, but you don't have the options. Ain't nobody checking for you. Ain't nobody checking for you. Whitney says, white women age faster than us black women there. Yes, that's a fact. They sure do. The mantra, marriage ain't the goal. I'm a PhD. Exactly. Oh my God. Right. These type of women have zero life goals. Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's like hate what you can't have. If you can't have it, it must be bad. And then when you see women when you out and about and you see women with their husbands and their kids and they happy during a holiday, that's why you see a lot of holiday crash outs. Every year you see it. They start talking about, oh my God, I need to find a boo before Valentine's Day. Ooh, I need to find somebody before my birthday. I need to find somebody before Thanksgiving and Christmas and the holidays because you that's when you feel it because there's nobody around. If you a side chick, your main dude, he going with his family. So you lonely on the holidays, and then it's when they start crying and becoming depressed because you really don't have nothing substantial. And even if you got a good job and money and all that, what that got to do with it? You still alone. You can have all the money in the world, you still alone. But you can go do the rent-a-gent. You could rent-a-gent. Oh my God. But that's just to make you look good in public. Everything you want, you got to go hire. You got to go hire it out and use it. It's temporary. It's not for real, and it's fake. So that alone will make you depressed. So, you know what I'm saying? And, that's just that. And so but yet they're at home with the electric rolls. And then they can't even comfortably use that because that be causing yeast infections and all kinds of stuff too. You use that too much, you'll be over there burning and hurting and stuff. So you gotta put that aside too and heal. So, once again, I will say, look, it's, you can, if you want a better change or a better in life, you got to do better. You got to stop thinking with that old mentality. Start, changing some things. If what you're doing, it hasn't worked for 10, 15 years, do something else, honey. And if it requires you to put more effort in, be willing to do that. Just like you put effort into the jobs and to get promotions and all this other stuff, do the same thing for a relationship. A man is worth it. The right man is worth it. And you got to stop thinking that a right man is a man who's going to do everything that you want. And you got to stop thinking that a right man is a man who's going to make all this money. No, there are a lot of good men who work hard and make decent money, but they just haven't found the woman who will be willing to come in and bridge the gap and they work together. It takes two people. It's been taking two. It takes two people in this economy to make it and live. And if you find a guy who has the qualities that are good and want to marry you and want to be with you and really a monogamous guy too, a man who ain't out here just trying to slang that thing all over the place and he really want to be with you, you better grab on to him. And if y'all don't want to do that, and a lot of women have missed out on guys like that. For the fine guy that you like, and he's a hoe, he's a male whore. And then you don't like that? Y'all don't want to share him. He's a man whore. He ain't trying to be with just you. He likes slinging that thing all over the place and you like him. So you put up with him thinking he's going to change and he's not. And then that end up breaking up and then you wasted time. And now you're back out here struggling again by yourself. Till some of them are just giving up. They're like, I'm just giving up. I don't have time for this shit. I can't find nobody who want to be with me. No, there was somebody, but you didn't want him. He was too short or whatever. Or you didn't think he was cute enough but he was probably the right guy for you, and you didn't give him a chance. You didn't even see if you could work something out with him. Y'all, you don't give him enough opportunity to show anything. You just automatically dismiss him or friend zone him, and you just don't even look that way. And then you go all the guys you looking for, they don't really be wanting you, and then they leave you, play around with you, and then they go find a woman they really want to be with, and they be with him, marry them, do all the things you want him to do with you, and then they be sitting down crying. Depressed once again. You're still going through life and depression and all this stuff, but by yourself. And you're constantly putting yourself in a position to be hurt. Because you don't want to go for the man that would be right for you. You want to go for the one that's fun and looks, check off your list, and then he don't want you like that. So these are, moments that you can learn from. These are situations that you can grow from and learn from. You don't have to stay in that position, And I would encourage anybody, woman or man, to, go after go after the person that wants you. Somebody want to be with you, go after them, be with them and build something with them. Or if you want to be by yourself for the rest of your life, do that too. And just be happy doing it. Don't complain about it. That's all I'm saying. Don't complain about it. Thank you once again, Sarkil, for the super chat. I appreciate you for being here and for supporting the channel. So with that being said, you guys, thank y'all so much for being here once again. I appreciate y'all. Make sure you hit the like button on your way out. Also, make sure you are watching the videos that are posted on the channel. Hit the like button, leave a comment, share them if you can, and turn on that notification bell to be notified when I go live or post new content. That is super, super important. Also, hype up the videos that are posted. When you watch, slide to the left, click the hype button to hype it up, you guys. That's supposed to help the channel. So make sure you are doing that. And also, if you're new here and you haven't subscribed, but you like the content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's free to subscribe. That definitely will help the channel out as well. So that is it for this particular live stream. I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for more. Hopefully, I'll see you guys on Friday. Hopefully, I will see you on Friday. So make sure you have that notification bell clicked to on so that you will get your notification for that show. All right. Because I don't know what time exactly I'm gonna go on Friday, but just be prepared for that Friday live. All right. So thank y'all once again. Shout out to everybody who gave super chats and cash apps. Shout out to everybody who supports the channel. I appreciate you guys. I love y'all. Y'all be safe out here in the streets till next time. Y'all be safe and I'll catch you in the next one. Mwah. I'll see y'all later. Bye.
You laugh and my heart chokes. Like Midas, everything you touch turns gold. You dance in the hallway like nobody's told. You say my name so softly, like it's a little word. Yeah, every time you're near me, all my doubts get blurred. You take my day, turn it bright, brand new. Every look you give says I choose you. I get you more than anybody ever could. You get me in a way I never understood. And every little smile, every little move you do. Ooh, baby, I don't need a reason. I just know. I just know. I get you. It's all about your dreams, eyes wide, shining clear. And you tell the wildest stories I could listen for years. And you roll your eyes and kiss me when I'm stubborn and proud. You want me back to center when my thoughts get loud. You take my fear, turn it into truth. Every time you touch me, I remember you. I get more than anybody ever could. You get me, in a way I never understood. Every little smile, every little move you do. Ooh, baby, I don't need a reason. I just know. I just know. I get when the world feels heavy on my shoulders, you lean in, lay your head right over mine. You say we can carry this together, and just like that, I'm fine. Oh, I'm fine. Oh, I get you every day, all the way. I get you get me in your eyes. That's when I'm free. I get you more than anybody ever could. You get me, in a way I never understood it. Every little smile, every little move you do, baby. I don't need a reason. I just know I get you.